Sometimes a hole in a wall will need to be fixed that is located in close proximity to a wall stud. In this circumstance, a lath patch could be used, with the stud playing the part of one of the lath strips. However, a pumpkin patch is recommended because it takes less materials and is recessed, making it much more concealable. On patches other than the pumpkin patch, the patch is even with the wall before being mudded, and once mudded, the surface of the patch protrudes slightly. This requires a larger area of the wall to be fanned out in order to hide the patch. The pumpkin patch, however, is slightly recessed into the wall and is even with the wall once it is mudded. The pumpkin patch over a wall stud will be made in the same way as a pumpkin patch, except a long indent will be carved out of the back of the patch where the wall stud is located. To make a pumpkin patch over a wall stud, there are several materials and tools that will be needed. The materials needed are a piece of drywall several inches larger than the hole being patched, and 45-minute drywall mud. The tools needed are a 6-inch and a 12-inch taping knife, a drywall saw, a pencil, a wet rag, and a drywall utility knife. First, place a previously prepared drywall patch that is larger than the hole over the hole. Next, with a pencil, draw an arrow on the front of the patch pointing up so that the patch can be consistently oriented while being cut and placed. The front side will be recognizable from the lighter, smoother, thicker appearance of the paper compared to the darker, thinner, rougher back side. Now draw the outline of the patch onto the wall. Now take the drywall saw and, following the outline, bevel cut the wall at about a 45-degree angle. Remember, the name of this patch is the pumpkin patch because it is supposed to fit together like a pumpkin and its lid when finished. Remove any extra pieces of broken drywall and go over the edges with a utility knife for a nice clean fit. Now take the patch and make sure the edges are beveled to the same corresponding angle as the wall. Place the patch into the wall. It should fit with about 1/8 of an inch gap around the entire perimeter of the patch. Since the wall stud will make the patch sit level with the wall, not leaving space for it to be recessed into the wall, a small amount of drywall will need to be carved out of the back of the patch where the wall stud would touch. To do this, draw 2 lines on the back of the patch where the wall stud is located. Now, take the utility knife and remove the paper on the back side of the patch. Next, with the utility knife or a drywall rasp, carve out a small amount of drywall. Make sure that the patch fits into the wall correctly and is recessed at about 1/8 of an inch.